where outdoors men and women come to get their country on.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Jason Aldean.
Hey, everybody. I'm Chris Young.
We are Low Cash.
We're going country.
What's up, y'all? I'm Mitchell Tenpenny, and you're listening to the Country Outdoors Podcast with Mary and Mitch.
Presented by My Outdoor TV and Twisted X. On this week's podcast, it's Lainey Wilson.
All right, g'day everyone. It is the Country Outdoors Podcast. Mary here.
Hey, Mary Mitch, and it's a rainy day in Nashville.
It is a rainy day in Nashville, but it is sunny in this room because Lainey Wilson has just joined us.
I love it.
It's so nice to meet you.
Me too. I feel like I know y'all though, because so many of my friends know y'all, and it's just, I can't believe we're finally just meeting.
I know. I first heard about you from Randy, who was one of my first people that I met when I moved to town, and then Megan, and then all the girls. Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, everything that I've heard about you is amazing. Obviously, can hear you every time I turn the radio on. And I've been dying to get you on one of our shows, so I'm glad you're playing the concert series coming up with Ashland and Casey and Megan. It's going to be amazing.
My girls.
But I feel like we've got so much to talk about.
No kidding. Because I'm going to try to wedge my way in occasionally. But I just want to say, too, I live in Minneapolis. And you're getting huge airplay up in Minneapolis.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, and I'm a little starstruck because I tell you, your song, What a Man Ought to Know, is really one of those kind of stopping. Hey, you stop you stop and listen to that song and like it. It's such a good song. It's that plus also the voice, and it's like I was starting to tell you before we hit the record button that I didn't know we were going to interview you until late last night. I think it just kind of all came together, and so doing a little digging, and I've been actually listening to Dolly Parton. Song teller, and it's a book, but it's almost like a podcast type interview in that. And so I'm deep into this Dolly Parton thing right now, and I've started listening to more of your music, and it's like, damn girl, that's amazing. And then to dig a little deeper, peel off an onion, and it's like, wow, she's from Louisiana. We missed an opportunity because we had Jordan and Jacob Davis with
Louisiana boys
with Lane Hardy at a concert series.
I love me some Lane.
He's like, and we want to adopt all of those guys.
I know.
So,
good boys.
But anyway, it's so fun to have another Louisiana artist on the show.
Thank you.
And
Kylie Frey's from Louisiana too.
That's true.
Another badass female.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
I haven't met her yet. You've met her. I'll meet her tomorrow.
As well.
So
there's some talent coming from Louisiana.
Gosh.
that's good because we got to wedge these Georgia boys.
That's what I'm saying. Get on out of here, Georgia. I mean, Nashville might as well be Georgia. There's so many Georgia people here, but
they don't
we're
have
coming for y'all.
crawfish boils.
That's right. Dang it. They might try to, but they're not the real ones.
That's right. We just had Dylan Marlowe in Turkey Camp with us, and him and I got onto a discussion about country music and females, and how sometimes females can some female country music artists can write songs about men that are too man bashing and man hating.
For sure.
But he was like, but then there's people like Lainey who write songs that are articulating what they say, but they say it in such a catchy way. So huge accolades from him as well.
Oh, I love Dylan. He's so talented.
Oh my gosh.
I'm excited for him. I'm excited to see what happens with his stuff because he can just sing.
Absolutely. Well, one of the stories I really want to get out of you, because, we're sponsored by Camping World and we travel around in our camper hunting. And I heard that when you came to town, you came in your camper and lived out of it, which I think is so cool and so country and just shows all of your, dedication to your career. And just kind of tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So 19 years old, I've always known that I wanted to be in Nashville. I mean, my family took me on a family vacation to Gatlinburg when I was 9, and they ended up driving through Nashville, and at 9 years old, I said, this is home. And my mama kind of turned around the back seat and was like, Lainey, you're 9 years old. Like, what are you talking about? But it's been crazy. I mean, seriously, I have always known this is where I was going to be. So finally, fast forward 10 years, 19 years old, I bought a Flagstaff bumper pull camper trailer, and I knew one guy.
What that cost you?
I think it was $3,500.
Not bad.
Not bad. And we ended up selling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do a little bit of work and stuff to it, but it did the job. I mean, so I was actually parked in this guy named Jerry Cupid. He's from Baskin, Louisiana, my hometown. I mean, town of 300 people, and
it's a suburb of Monroe.
Yeah. It's actually called the Village of Baskin. But long story short, Jerry Cupid, like way back in the day, he wanted to do music. He wanted to be a singer, songwriter, producer, all that. So back in the late 70s, my grandpa on my daddy's side gave him like $300 to help him move to Nashville and get started. So he did have a little success in the 90s. And as a favor in return, he let me park my camper in his studio parking lot for 3 years for free.
That is so sweet.
Yeah, so I bummed water, Wi-Fi, electricity, did the damn thing.
Well, it looks like it's obviously paid off. Is he still around?
He's not, and that's actually why I ended up selling the camper, because he passed away randomly. And at that point, I mean, to park a dang camper at a KOA around here, it costs $700-800. So it's like, you might as well have an apartment, you know. So I sold the camper. I know who has it right now, so I've been telling him, I'm like,
I got to come back and do some like photos with it and stuff, even a music video or something.
Yep, and I want to buy it back. I want to do some kind of like, maybe, you know, have a little boutique set up out of it.
It's like $10,000.
Yep. Yeah. I need somebody else to buy it, and then.
Will you let us know when you do? Because we would love to come and film that. And yeah, that would be really cool. You could do like the Miranda Lambert thing and have it in your backyard by a pool.
I would love that.
That's awesome.
I would love it.
I also read, Mary, that so when you were, it was 9 when you came through Nashville.
Yep.
You were also writing songs at 9 years old about cigarettes and tequila. So why was your mom surprised that you had already said this is where you're going to be?
It was crazy. I mean, here's the thing, and we didn't even have tequila and cigarettes like at my house. It was just because I was listening to grown-up conversations. I was listening to country music, and I knew that's what they were writing about. So before I would have considered myself an artist, I would have considered myself a songwriter, even from like 9 years old. I mean, some of the stuff I wrote when I was 9 is probably better than some of the stuff I wrote last year.
Do you still have all of that?
You know, the crazy thing is, like, I never wrote anything down as a kid because I felt like, this sounds silly, but I felt like if I didn't remember it, then it wasn't good enough. So, but now, the older you get, you got to write shit down.
Yeah, so you're like scratching and you're like, oh, there was a really good one back there.
Yep. Should have wrote that one down.
Tell us a little bit about growing up in your hometown, because from what I understand, your family were farmers.
Yep.
And you grew like corn and soy and all of that?
All of that, yeah. So I grew up on a farm. My daddy farms wheat, corn, soybeans, oats. I mean, he always had me and my sister working, doing something. He treated us like two little boys. And my mom was a teacher. The population of my town is 300, so 299 after I left. And I mean, like, no stoplight. We got cornfields. We have a convenience store. It's my little piece of heaven.
Do you love going home?
I do, but I also like leaving.
How many kids in your high school?
Well, I actually had to go to the town next to me to go to high school, but I only still graduated with 24.
Do they have a sign up in town now for you?
Not
Billboard?
Yet. That's coming. That's coming.
That's when you know you've made it.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait.
So you've got a really great group of girlfriends around you, and one of the things that I love about all of your girl group is everybody really supports and encourages each other, which you don't often see a lot of. You know, women can be really catty, and they can be in the country music industry. We've seen a lot of that over the last year, publicly. But you guys all really build each other up. You got so lucky with all those girls.
Oh my gosh. You know, I mean, I'll be honest, I had to go through a whole lot of them to finally get the ones that I've got. But when I tell you I have got the best girlfriends around, I mean, they're more than just my friends. They're my sisters. And I mean, it truly is very rare that you find people who are just as talented as they are kind. And that's my friend group. I mean, they're all badasses. They are all genuine people who really want you to do well. You know, there ain't no coattail riding going on. There's just like genuine support, and we know we're all going to do the damn thing, and it's going to be at different paces, but you know, we're going to do it.
And I feel like they're all honest as well, which is something that is like so important in like a true friendship is, yeah.
Yep.
I was going to say, you know, they're all individuals and they're all very talented on their own right, but still to be part of that group and help celebrate the success when y'all have success. We've become pretty good friends with Meg and Patrick and super excited. Mary got her first turkey last week, and was her first turkey? First Osceola, sorry.
Yeah.
Not her first turkey. But and then they duck hunted in Oklahoma, and it's so it's just fun to watch from the outside and really to experience the success that you're having now. Thanks for coming in and sharing sharing the story with us.
Oh my gosh, man. I'm excited to be here, and I could sit around and talk about my girlfriends all day long. So y'all have to stop me.
Well, it seems like you do on your social media with your little different characters that you play. How did you come up with that? It's what a hoot. It's actually been really refreshing over the last year to check that stuff out, because it's like a little bit of humor, a little bit of light.
No, honestly, I was like, you know what? I've kind of gotten a little interested in the whole acting thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I act a fool all the time, so I figured why the hell not just, maybe like try it out. And I've just been trying to come up with like content pieces, because I mean, my Lord, you can't go out and tell people you got music coming out. I mean, you can't say it from the stage. We don't play shows anymore, So you got to come up with different ways and be creative. And I just found it kind of like funny. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create these characters and just act a dang fool, put it out there. I mean, at the end of the day, their people are gonna love it or not. Hopefully it'll make them laugh. And it turns out people really loved it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the beauty, though, about being able to do music videos, right? When you have all the creative control, it's like you get to create your own script. Yep. Which is amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. It really is fun to do.
You do a pretty amazing Dolly impersonation as well. I've seen your videos on the WWD. You sing like her, and you also.
I'll take that.
But when you're doing a video, I think it was on your WWDD. What would Dolly do? And so you're answering some of those questions in Dolly's voice. It was spot on, because I told you I'm like totally in tune with Dolly right now. I've never met her.
Me either, and I cannot wait.
Hey Zach, get Dolly in here. We both got to meet. We got to meet Dolly
Get
Parton.
on it, boy.
Let's get her in here. So
2020 was a really random year for everybody, but you seem to have huge success in the midst of the pandemic. What were some of the challenges, though, that you went through?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will tell you, I think I'm very glad that my career wasn't really, I mean, it was kind of right there on the cusp of it. I felt like had I been a little further along, maybe things wouldn't be as good as they are right now. I'm very fortunate that I was exactly where I was at that time, because I feel like I was able to really just put my blinders on, like keep my head down. And I've just been bound and determined. I'm like, you know what, this time, whether this is a year and a half, however long it is that we're not playing dang shows, this time will not go wasted. I have probably written at least, 250 songs during the shutdown. And I mean, we've had to learn how to write songs through Zoom. Which is no energy. Yeah. I mean, I feed off of people, like this is so much better than doing this podcast on Zoom or, whatever. I mean, getting to look at people, and this is doing my soul some good.
Yeah.
But, I've had to like dig a little deeper and dig in certain areas of me that I never thought I was really going to have to in order to get the songs that I need, which is not a bad thing, I guess. I'm kind of really in touch with who I am, what I want to say, and how I want to say it.
Just wait till you hit the stage at the listening room for the round, because there's going to be over 200 folks there, and there's so much, I think, need from the artist and the audience. It's like it's almost like playing the Ryman, I guess.
I know.
But it's going to be a lot of fun, and you guys are gonna kill it out there.
We need music. We need it.
Oh, I feel like that's one of the things that's really resonated over the last year, is like, as much as like live music has been shut down, it's actually really highlighted how important music is. Did you find that a lot of your like downloads and stuff like that peaked because people were just like, well, if I can't go to a show, I'm going to listen to the heck out of this?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's what it was. I mean, it really has been crazy.
Things a Man Ought to Know went to radio. When did that go to radio?
It went to radio in August. So it's been at radio for a while, and then just a couple weeks ago, iHeart chose me to be their On the Verge artist. So,
awesome.
I mean, it's kind of taken like a big leap, and it feels nice to just really start covering some ground. And it really is crazy how much ground you can cover without really going anywhere.
But it's also crazy for me, someone kind of on the outside of the music industry, we went to radio in August, and it's going to be a number one someday. It's got to be a number one, but it might not be a number one until like October of next year. It's like
it's the craziest thing.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me how that all works.
No. Yeah, I definitely wish it was a quicker process, but Lord have mercy.
Well, what comes quick doesn't necessarily
No, you're
stay.
right. I'm like, no, we've come this far.
Yeah. It's been since you were 9 years old, so you can probably wait a couple more months.
No, I think I can do it.
Mary had Craig Campbell at her show last night, and he played Outskirts of Heaven, and just it's such a beautiful song, and he introduced it as a song that he loves a lot of his songs, but this is one that was really special to him. You have songs in your repertoire that are just super special to you?
Yep, I do. Of course, Things a Man Ought to Know. First one, but just because it truly is like who I am, my values, how I was raised. I mean, the song's not really about whether you can start a fire or change a tire. Really, it's just about having good character and being kind. And I'm a firm believer. Yep, my daddy taught me and my sister all those things. I mean, before I moved up here in my camper, he had me weaving in and out of the pine trees in the yard to make sure I knew what I was doing, and those things are important, but more importantly, the way that I treat people and the way that people treat me, that's what they really wanted me to know, just be kind. That's what it's about.
And don't put up with people who are
that's right.
not being kind. And in this town, in any town, there's people that look you in the face and tell you one thing and not do the other. So it's tough to sift through that. So
it is. Yeah. Discernment for sure. But another song of mine that's not out right now, but it will be hopefully here soon. It's called 2-Story House. And it's about my sister. So, we grew up same bedroom, shared the same clothes, same mom and daddy, I think.
I need to pull that one on my sister.
Yep. We're taught all the same lessons in life. We got the same butt whoopings. If she got a butt whooping, I got one, But we grew up to be very different. And, she's an accountant. She's married with a baby and a dog. And here I am, doing this thing. So we wrote this song called 2-Story House, and it's super special to me. And if you have a sibling,
we might have to pull the couch out here. 'Cause I'm just curious how did your parents parent in a manner that allowed you both to just be individuals? I'm a parent, so I'm just curious. I got younger kids. It's like how does that happen?
Really and truly, they kind of they let us find what we were interested in. Of course, I did other extracurricular activities. I did softball and basketball. We were involved in everything. But my sister, she loved to dance. So it was my daddy would pay for it. My mama would get us there. And then I was over here with music. I impersonated Hannah Montana for 5 years. That was my childhood, kind of high school job. But before then,
before I actually did.
Oh yeah, girl.
Where? At fairs and stuff?
I do 3 or 4 birthday parties a weekend.
You're kidding. Little hustler.
Girl.
Wow.
All my friends were at the LSU football games, and I was wearing a wig.
How do you think, she paid for her camper?
One day you're going to meet Miley, and you're going to tell her that story.
Yep.
It's going to be amazing.
Yep.
That's so cool. I'm really excited to hear that song because, as you were saying that, one of my sisters, I'm one of 5, but one that's 13 months older than me, she's a politician.
Wow.
So I was chalk and cheese, exactly what
crazy?
you're saying. And so we went to the same schools, did all the same stuff.
Yeah.
And she's literally a politician.
Yeah.
And I am an entertainer.
But still, I'm sure you're still similar too.
Same humor, dry humor.
Yeah.
We get each other, all of that.
Yep.
But
yep. They just allowed us to be ourselves and supported us, and they let us know when we did something wrong, but they trusted us. We weren't bad kids.
Well, we asked Lane Hardy, your fellow Louisianan, if he ever gotten in trouble. And I didn't mention with the law, but you mentioned you got a whooping. So I know you've been a little bit dirty or nasty at some point. But
oh yeah.
He actually got chased by the police on an ATV. He told us that story. Got caught in a swamp and
been there
and came out. So exactly. Anything you want to share with us in terms of what kind of trouble did you get in as a kid?
Yeah. So. Well, first of all, this is a bad one. I was 15, and I was driving. I wasn't supposed to be, and I got stopped going 75 and a 45.
Ooh.
Got sent, literally, I was about to lose my license, so I had to go to court. And thank goodness, this is some small town stuff right here. Thank goodness the judge was our next door neighbor. And all he made me do, my punishment was...
mow his lawn?
No, even better. Something I enjoy. He made me write a song about speeding and taking somebody's life and put it on a CD in 30 days.
Awesome.
And I was like, this is not punishment. I love doing this, but thank you. And I still got my license when I was 16. It was
Do you have that song?
I'm sure I could find it somewhere.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Your parents sound like wonderful people.
They're crazy, but they're good.
Like just like country crazy?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I can tell.
Yep. They love, I mean, like, there's not a whole lot to do in Baskin. So, I mean, we sit around the kitchen table and my daddy will tell these same old stories that, I mean, I've been hearing since as far as I can remember. And I mean, it's the kind of stories really that just get better every single time you hear them. And I really think that's where my love for storytelling kind of,
you're like,
about.
What, that happened? Last time that guy wasn't in the story.
Yeah, he adds, I will tell you that. He adds, takes out, he does what he wants. It's his story, therefore I guess he can do that.
Oh, that's amazing. They must be over the moon then with seeing all of your success this year. Has there been any conversations that they've called you for advice or anything like that?
Oh my gosh. It really is the wildest thing. But I'll tell you, like, my mama for sure, my mama has never had a doubt. I mean, just like,
that's awesome.
Really, she's never doubted me. And my daddy too. I mean, they truly have like believed in me from the beginning. I don't know why. They've always just kind of had like a overwhelming sense of peace about I was going to do this. Mm-hmm. And I've really never had a plan B. I mean, I've always just kind of been like, plan A's got to work.
Right. Yeah. So
At
you're
some
going to
point.
find 500 ways to make that work. What are some of the challenges that you faced though? Like, when did you actually move to Nashville?
August of 2011.
Wow. So you've seen huge changes in this town.
Oh my gosh. Yes. People just, I mean, like, it just seems like so many people have come and left and, and now there's like a new wave of people. Like I went somewhere the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, looking around, like, I don't know any of these kids, and, I just looking around and I'm like, dang, y'all don't even know what y'all just signed up for. This is about to be the hardest thing you've ever done.
So the key you think is like just sticking with it, like
sticking with it and finding, I mean, definitely not taking no for an answer, but like finding what you're good at, like finding your strength. And mine was songwriting. And I was like, maybe I can try to get my foot in the door through my songwriting. Mm-hmm. And also, like I said, finding your strength, but also listening to what people have to say. I mean, they're not always right about it, Right. I mean, but taking the criticism and being like, okay, like I need to work on this. Mm-hmm. I thought I was ready to be Taylor Swift when I was 14 years old.
Right.
I wasn't, know. And also just knowing too that like everybody's got their own path and there's going to be times where you look around you and somebody who just moved to town a month ago and you've been here for 10 years, it pops off for them. But guess what? That's their story.
Right.
It's not yours.
Yeah, that's great.
You got to keep doing your damn thing. Once you take your eyes off the road, that's when stuff starts, not going the way it's supposed to.
Well, also, one of the best advices that my acting coach ever gave me was stop trying to be like the next Dolly or the next whoever else actor. There's only one of you. So figure out how to be the best version of that and constantly continue to grow your skills, continue to learn, continue to be a better communicator, better person, just in general, better well-shaped person because there's only one of you.
I love that.
Yeah.
I have a merch item that I want you to I got an idea for you. Because
I love it.
Luke Bryan. You've heard of that guy. Yep. He's got the E3 Ranch.
Okay.
We're friends with John Langston. He has Azora Farms, right?
Yep.
So they all got the cool hats with their logos and things like that. I see on your Instagram your family farm, the Wilson Farms.
Oh my
in
gosh.
Baskin. And that's the hat right there. That is a hat that I'm a hat guy. I would buy. The Wilson Farms with the W
with
and
a
the
rockin'
slash
W
that says Baskin, Louisiana. That is your.
That's a good idea.
That's it.
Right.
Oh, I got to do it. Thank you.
Yeah, that is a really good idea.
All my royalties can go to your parents.
Okay.
Put all of the royalties.
Put the sign for the town sign.
The town sign and the repurchase of your camper for the museum
there you go.
in your
Look at
hometown.
you.
No, but I saw the logo. I was just scrolling through and I saw you. We want to talk about your dove hunting and that. But I was like, Wilson Farms. That's pretty badass. And those are the things that fans, when they you're going to be out on the road here again soon, and the fans will be like, hell yeah, I want a Wilson Farms
because it's personal.
hat.
Yes.
They want to be personal.
I love that idea.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's
they
a
want
cool
to feel
brand.
like part
It's
of the
a
family.
cool, simple Wilson Farm brand.
Look at you.
So you just found a dove hunting photo, did you, Mitch?
I did, yeah.
Good on you. Let's talk dove hunting, hey?
Let's do it.
I feel like your dad probably would be like a hoot to dove hunt with.
Oh my gosh. Well, see, the crazy thing is I feel like every time like dove season rolls around, he's farming. He's like right in the dead center of cutting corn. So he's never really been able to like really enjoy it. But so me and my sister, we put on this like annual dove hunt.
I want to come.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, it's the funnest thing. I mean, we kind of have it like all mapped out, you know, and we put people places and it's fun. I mean, we get to collect the money and then when nobody's looking, go shoot us some birds.
Last year sucked though because of the hurricane.
Yeah, I didn't get to go last year anyway.
Yeah.
I don't really know what was going on. It's been kind of like hit or miss. I feel like some years I get to go home for it and I just love that lifestyle. I want to go hunting with you.
Yeah, you have to.
So we're going to trade out, I think. So y'all go dove hunting, and then we'll bring Lainey to South Dakota for a pheasant hunt.
Oh, my gosh.
We've gotten to know some folks at the state of South Dakota. I got to interview the governor of the state of South Dakota. And
you know that Christy Gnomes?
She's a badass.
She's so hot too.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we're trying to do an all-women's hunt, and I got to figure out how to wedge. Maybe I'll be a camera guy on that.
Come on now.
But, let's get you up to South Dakota to chase pheasant, chase tail in South Dakota.
I love it. I love that, man.
Yeah, and it's fun as well to, you know, the wild game cooking and everything like that. Is that something that you want to get more into?
I would.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I feel like too, for so long, like, I mean, I haven't, this past year, I don't even think I deer hunted once. Now, the year before, I feel like I got to deer hunt several times when I went home, but I feel like things are kind of like getting into a rhythm now to where I can start, you know, doing more of those things that I grew up doing that, the things that I really write music about.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly.
Like get back to my roots. It's time for that. And because every time I do, I mean, it just grounds me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is who I am, you know, to my core.
So what's your dream for here in terms of like buying a house and property and stuff like that? Have you got like a style that you love? And I can see your eyes lighting up a little bit.
I really just want a lot of land.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to be able to just walk out in my yard, like not see anybody. And just, I want to be like just far enough outside of town. Like I like where Langston's at.
Yeah, Dixon Way.
I think it's beautiful out there, but also I feel like any side of Nashville is pretty.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know where I'll land, but definitely want horses. I mean, I grew up riding horses.
Did y'all? Me
and my sister, we were PRCA rodeo flag girls. So I'd like to do that.
What was your childhood horse's name?
Tex. And Scooter. We had Tex and Scooter.
How long did they live?
So Scooter, I think he lived to be about 19.
Wow.
And Tex is still alive right now, and he's 22.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love horses.
Yep.
They're so special.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
so smart.
So smart.
So wonderful. So
I love
kind.
it.
Do you have any dogs?
I do. I have a little French bulldog. Her name's Hippie. I'll have to show you a picture, but she's
she snore and fart all the time?
All the time. All the time.
It's like a bulldog thing.
It is.
There was a headline yesterday that said French bulldogs are close to overtaking the lab as the #1 dog in America.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Talk about a designer dog. She's rotten, y'all.
Really? You should have brought her in. Apparently you're allowed dogs here.
Well, dang.
Yeah.
Next time.
How old is she?
She's about to be 1.
Oh,
so I got her right
baby.
when like the shutdown happened.
Oh, because you needed a companion.
Yep.
Well, perfect timing to train a puppy when you're actually there. But that dog's portable. You can bring that dog on the road.
Oh, yeah.
She's still got to figure out the whole potty training thing, though. I think really I'm the one that needs to be trained.
Yeah. I get you on that one. So do you guys have a tour bus now, or will you be getting one for, summer?
Honestly, it just kind of depends. I mean, it's looking good. Of course, I've never had like my own tour bus up to this point. We've had like people send out buses and stuff for us to like write for the weekend or whatever. We just have 15 passenger van for, several years. And then I got my truck and we got a 20-foot cargo trailer that we used for a while, but it seems like the crew is getting bigger now. So we'll see what happens. But man, I can't wait to be riding on a bus and taking Hippie with me.
Oh my gosh.
That's going to be.
Are you guys booking up shows now for the summer?
We are. Yep. I mean, there's some stuff happening, a couple things in April. But then really June is when it starts picking up. And
so what's happening in June?
Fairs and festivals. And
awesome.
It's seeming like it's going to be okay.
Mary asked your dream about your living here in this area. Our dream is to have the Country Outdoor stage at CMA Fest.
Yeah.
Oh, you manifested. That's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's happening.
Happening.
We're going to make it happen.
Oh my gosh.
No lunch or dinner for us tonight. We got to save money.
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
CNA.
Oh,
The country
God.
outdoors.
No, I need to find a sponsor.
Hey, that's happening for sure.
That would be fun to have.
Oh my
and to
gosh.
bring all our friends and really celebrate that outdoors lifestyle. We're on it.
And there's so many people in the country music world who just, I mean, these two worlds go hand in hand.
Oh my gosh,
you know?
Yeah.
And I know you'd probably prefer to play in the arena, in the big stadium that night, but would you come play our country outdoor stage, please?
You dang right. Come on.
Maybe just 2-3 songs, an acoustic set.
I love
or
it.
something.
I love it.
Speaking of manifesting, so that's like something where before I moved to the States, like I'm really big on manifestation and vision boards and all of that stuff. I mean, anything that I'm like, anything that can help me get there. So I had like a vision board in my bedroom and it literally, and I was thinking about this the other day because I found the cardboard cutout. I had one actually when I was in Sydney that I had in front of my bed, and every morning I would wake up, I'd look at it, I'd go down to the cliffs, do my affirmations, pray, go for a walk, start my day. And it was like a vision board which had hosting, relationship, house, and all of this. And the other day I looked at it and everything other than the house literally has happened.
Wow.
And I wanted to know, you said manifestation, so I was like, my ears were like,
oh my gosh, girl, I try to manifest all the time. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to manifest it again right now. I will do a song with Eric Church. That's something I'm manifesting.
that's not going to be hard for you.
It's happening.
From what you've explained, you've been doing that your whole life, whether you knew it or not.
Yes.
As a 9-year-old young girl, writing about tequila and cigarettes, saying you're going to be here.
So are you an alcoholic now? No.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
We're going to take a smoke break right now.
Dang it. Where's my tequila?
Yeah. Oh, now that we know that. Oh my gosh. So what are some of the lessons that you've learned throughout your career that you could, because I'm sure that you've got like so many young women looking at you now just going, I want to be the next Lainey, but like obviously be the next version of yourself because we've already discussed that.
That's right. There's so many things I could say. I mean, like I joke around all the time when people ask me, they're like, what would you say to somebody like a girl moving to Nashville wanting to do this? And I'd say, don't do it. Really, don't do it if you think you could do anything else. Mm-hmm. If you think you could be happy, just as happy, being a school teacher or whatever, don't do it. Mm. Because this is something that you have to commit 190% to for years. I mean, years and years and years. And they call it a 10-year town. And it's looking like, for me, that's what it's going to be. Mm-hmm. And I would really just say stay true to yourself. The crazy thing is, like, the things that I write about and sing about is like, that's what I've always been writing and singing about. Mm-hmm. It just now is kind of cool, Mm-hmm. And really it's just like it takes years to find that one person who will eventually, it'll just keep growing and growing and growing until you find your people who truly love what you do, but also love you as a person. And that's just as important.
Right. Yeah. So having that team around you, has it been like hard for you to get that team? You had some struggles and hard lessons with that along the way?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I mean, definitely like thought maybe I like kind of found a stepping stone and it probably was a small stepping stone at the time, but, of course, when you get opportunities, you're like, this is it. This is going, take me to where I need to be. But at the end of the day, it was just to get me to that next thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with that. I definitely, like sometimes people aren't who they say they are. They don't do what they say they're going to do, but that's just life. That's in any business, and you just pull your big girl panties up and do the thing.
You got to have alligator skin.
That's right. You got
Lance Carpenter said that to me once. Yep. In an interview a long time ago. He said, you've got to, I forget what the first one was, but you got to have alligator skin in the, what was it, shark teeth and alligator skin.
I like that.
Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah.
You got to be tough, but then also you got to be kind. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, they might not remember that one song you poured your heart and soul into that you sang at the listening room, but if you meet them after the show and you're nice to them and kind, they'll remember that.
Well, it's also such a relationship town, and it's like, and that with all your girlfriends and everything like that, it's really who you surround yourself with. And I think people are a lot smarter than what a lot of people want to believe. It's like, we're not stupid. Like you can see if somebody's authentic and real, and opportunities come through friendships in this town, I reckon.
Oh my gosh, they do for sure.
Yeah.
So you got to run for mayor.
Yeah. Well, we need a replacement mayor, so why don't you run for mayor?
I can't get the job done.
Is there any moment in the last decade, any decision or just a chance encounter or something that you think really had, like, you can look back and say, man, I took a right turn here and that was absolutely the right turn?
Maybe she's listening. I don't know if she can hear me up there.
The girl with the big hair, that's
the
amazing.
Girl with the big hair. Mandolin Monchick, she's my manager. Back in 2016, I believe it was. I really had just had a hard time figuring out my place. Like, I knew I was writing. Luke Combs had cut a song of mine called Share If You Want To, but I still could not get a dang publishing deal to save my life. It was like, what do you got to do? You know, like, I'll just tell me what to do and I'll do it. But Mandolin had just moved to town, and her and I started working together, and she would send my music to everybody. Anybody who would, you know, if she had their email address, she was sending it to them. And a lot of the times they wouldn't email her back, but every now and then they would. And I knew working with her, I mean, she has believed in me like more than anybody has, aside from my family, and has just seen bigger picture. You know, her and I both have grown so much. I mean, she's grown as a manager. I've grown just, you know, as an artist, but we've seen each other through all the different stages, but never in a million years have I doubted her or she doubted me. So that right there was a big thing for me. I was like, this is it, to have somebody who like is truly a fan of what I do, but also has my best interest at heart, you know?
So that's like a real God thing. You guys
oh my gosh. Yeah. And then it wasn't long after that. In November of 2017 is when I signed my publishing deal with Sony. And then 6 months after that is when I signed my record deal. So, and it's still been, I mean, the hard work's just beginning.
Yeah.
You know,
because now you got to keep all of that.
Yep.
So what was it like though when that first phone call where they're like, hey, we want to sign you, pub deal?
It's the weirdest thing. Oh my gosh, of course I cried.
I'm about to cry.
I mean, really, it was like, it made me feel like that 9-year-old girl on the interstate that was looking at the Batman building. It made me feel like she wasn't crazy. Aww. And it really just like, it made me feel like, wow, like you're right where you're supposed to be. And like, girl, you just getting started. You got some light to shine. So, and I'm getting emotional too, but like, I'm just so grateful that, first of all, I feel like, you know, I think that peace came from the Lord, even as a little girl. And he keeps his promises, you know, and maybe he was speaking through me on the interstate. I don't know, but he's kept his promises, and I've known that he was going to do that. So it was one of those things for me when they called me, it was like, I could believe it. You know, I don't want to say like, I couldn't believe it, you know, cause I could believe it. I was like, wow, I mean, it's finally here, and it's going to be fun.
Oh my gosh, I love that. It's like that confirmation.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
So what do you want your legacy to be?
Whew, the list is long. My gosh. I want to be known for really just speaking the truth. Whether that makes your skin crawl a little bit, but I also want to do it in a kind way. I try to channel my inner Dolly Parton. I mean, she somehow says it with a little bow wrapped on top. She still gets her point across.
Which is things a man ought to know.
Yeah. Yep. I just want to keep doing my thing, and I want to enjoy life and be able to be a light in every room I walk into.
Well, you have been today for sure. I have a question as a man who wants to know. Were there any lyrics that you liked that didn't make it into that song?
Oh my gosh. How to pull a toilet lid down.
Yeah, tell me some other things I need to know. Tell us all what we need to know.
Pick up your dirty drawers.
My husband's sitting behind us.
Husband, listen up.
Yeah, the dirty drawers. I said something about that this morning.
All right, in defense of all of our male listeners, I mean, the women can also put the lid down for us too, right?
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's just like
and also or
it's like y'all pee with the lights out.
Or if like peeing with the lid down is even worse than with it up. Zach.
She's talking to her husband now.
That happened yesterday. Don't understand
some other things that would be harder to rhyme that a man ought to know.
We're not trying to fall in the middle of the night. That's the worst feeling, isn't it? when your butt hits the water.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's a little bit, I don't know as a woman what it feels like, but it's a little bit like when you think you're drinking a glass of orange juice and it's water.
Or Megan's
water.
dip spit.
Girl.
Megan, I'm calling you out.
I
tried dip for the first time in camp with her the other day, and I was like, how do you
I don't know
put
how she
this
does
in
it.
your mouth?
I know. I had to go puke behind the barn when she let me try some.
Well, I'm going to have a chat to you after this about a turkey hunt because I do have one that I really want to try and get you on if you're free.
Oh, my gosh.
It has been a pleasure having you on, Lainey.
Oh, my gosh. I feel like I've just known y'all forever.
Yeah, it's lovely, and we definitely want to come down for that dove hunt.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
So for people that are wanting to come and check you out, is there any shows that you can talk about right now where they can get tickets?
Just check out my website, LaineyWilson.com. I feel like right now we're kind of adding stuff every single day, so I'm sure there's new stuff popping up right now. But yeah, all my tour dates will be on there, and we'll keep updating it. And I can't wait to see everybody's faces at these shows. We're about to get back at it, and it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be amazing. Thanks for coming on.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
All right, see you guys later. Sorry, folks. The Country Outdoors Podcast with Mary and Mitch, presented by My Outdoor TV and Twisted X, is coming to a close.
That's it! I'm out!
But the party continues on Instagram at Country Outdoors Official and on Facebook and Twitter at Country Outdoors. And be sure to check out countryoutdoors.com for the latest happenings with Mary and Mitch. Hey, thanks for listening. We can't wait to see you next time.